Hey, what's up, people? How's it going? Welcome back. Hope you all had a good summer. I did. I posted a thumbnail of a picture that's been floating around on Instagram, and there's also video footage of it, and that is an RD tag on the subway station, 149th Street. I believe that's done on the 4 train line. And I could get into that. And also I've been experimenting with the going live feature on this YouTube thing. And I like it a lot. Actually, as you can see, I posted the first one, I believe. And that was just me experimenting with going live. See, the real reason I do this, like I've explained in the past, is I want people to know my story, and that's what I do. Now, going live was interesting. It's a way for you people to ask me questions, tell me things, contradict what I say, call me a liar, whatever, prove me wrong. But anyway, to make a long story short, I was experimenting with this going live thing. And as I went live, I told my son, in the other room, I said, Bobby, could you log on to YouTube and ask me a question? I want to see how this thing works, if it pops up and all. I swear, before he even went in there and logged on, 4 or 5 people already asked me questions. So this went on for about 2 hours. I was answering questions. I loved it. It was fun as hell, the best thing. A lot of stuff, a lot of cool shit. Very interesting. First time, yeah, I believe that's posted. You guys could probably look at it. I think by the end of 2 hours, to the best of my knowledge, like 300-something people were in the room. That was pretty good, at least from the way I'm reading it. A lot of questions. It worked very well, but I've decided not to do that. Because second time I did it, same thing, you know, very nice, this, that. Third time, I think some idiot was on there. Pretty much like just calling me names, like not contradicting anything I was saying or anything like that. But it put up a flag in my head where now I'm actually giving some asshole a clear path to me, in a sense of them getting some kind of gratification out of fucking with me. And I mean, that's pretty, I mean, what do you, someone call me like a shithead or a poo-poo head, I believe, like some 9-year-old or something. And I actually had posted before this, and I deleted it because I said I was 53 years old, but I'm actually 54 years old. And what I mean by that is, you're calling me like a shithead or a poo-poo head or something. You know how fucking much I've been called in this world, in the graffiti world alone, like since even before computers were, but even before graffiti, even before I wrote graffiti. Yeah, I said I wasn't the most loved kid, man. Yeah, fucking wild shit. So, yeah, that little shit don't bother me. And as I said, but I deleted it, was that I was 53 years old. But I'm actually 54 years old because I turned 53 a couple of weeks, 54 a couple of weeks ago. So, enough of that. I'm 54 years old. But anyway, you know, people just, stupid shit. But what happened is they call, all right, let's just say they call me an asshole. RD3, you're an asshole, just saying, right? And then I respond back. Wow, I didn't think of this part. This is good. This is good. It's like a project, like it's a test run to get out all the kinks. And now I'm noticing a kink. You're calling me names. Now, I didn't mind someone calling me names, but the fact that so many comments were coming up of good shit, you know, like real good questions people were asking me. And like to read it all, like it was really blowing up like that. I really couldn't keep up with it. I would actually need someone to ask me the questions, reading it while I'm responding this way. That's how many questions it was. And in between that, you get some assholes start saying something stupid. It fucks up everything. So I'm like, no, wait a minute. I said, this is good. I'm learning here now. So suppose I actually gotta find out a way to get rid of the trolls, the bullshit, and answer honest, contradictory questions that are given to me. And I said, I could charge people to ask me questions. That's what I said. I could charge people to ask me questions. This way that could thin out the herd, so to say. Like people would actually have to pay money to call me names if they want to ask me a question. I said, I believe that's a function. Then all of a sudden they says, oh yeah, it's all about the money, Robert. Yeah, you're going to make a killing off it and this and that. And I'd say that actually upset me more than them commenting some nasty shit. Like, you know, just calling me an asshole. Like, that bothered me. Because, like, I don't know how to put it, but graffiti's kind of important to me. And besides that, like, just look at the atmosphere. All right, you guys know, I could have been monetized a long time ago. They're not going to monetize me. Too many of these people that I talk shit about on here, they run back to YouTube and try to get me shut down. So it's like strikes and stuff like that. And my comments and my vocabulary I use and some of the words that I use are flagged words in the YouTube community. So I won't get monetized. There's even some songs on there that are playing in backgrounds, like at my art gallery show, where it's actually copyright infringements because of the music playing in the background. So I'm not getting monetized. But just to awaken you people, graffiti websites as a niche, as something to actually make money off of, no. It's not going to happen. Not where you could live off of money from a YouTube channel dealing with graffiti. I've done my research. I've looked through things. All right, you got a couple of the high-end dudes, maybe 20,000 followers is like one or two of them. 20,000 followers. That could possibly, if he's monetized and watching his mouth and the content, he could possibly make maybe $400 or $500 a month. That's not enough to live off of. And now there's also a few trickling down to about 1,800. But the average human being that gets in here that's talking about graffiti is fetching around like me, 2,000 to like 6,000 subscribers. That's where it starts falling off. And you're going to see, what, 40, 50 bucks a month or something. If you're actually monetizing, I don't know. I'm just shooting these numbers off the top of my head. I mean, I'm sure one of you pencil neck geeks can actually figure it out and comment. But am I lying? No. I believe in my heart and soul. I could go in a fucking pet shop, to a pet shop like Petco. And I could buy a fucking hermit crab. Yeah, a fucking hermit crab. Put it in a 10-gallon fucking fish tank. Right? Put it right here and feed it every day and start talking about how to take care of this hermit crab and fucking get more followers and more people would actually pay and I'd get monetized and everything. Doing something about a fucking hermit crab or something, or a snail. I could buy a fucking aquatic snail from Petland. I don't even think Petland exists anymore. Petco, yeah. I could buy a fucking snail from Petco, put it in the, oh yeah, I got a blonde mystery snail. Yeah, they need 7.0 pH levels, this, that, blah, 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 blah. The shell gets soft, you throw a calcium disc. Like, you can actually do that. A hermit crab, too. You feed a little bit of lettuce here and there. Oh, look, yeah, Charlie the hermit crab. And I can get thousands of fucking followers and get paid off YouTube. Not to mention, I live in Manhattan, on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, technically like Midtown Manhattan. I live a 10, 15-minute walking distance from the crosswalks of the world, 42nd Street and Broadway. I could do a channel on tourism, or just different crime shit that happened in New York City on different streets, or different restaurants. Yo, come on, man. Like, seriously, graffiti is like such a small niche when you really exercise. For a man in his 54-year-old man, hell yeah, I could get real fat, gain a bunch of weight. So, life sucks. I'm going to lose all this weight. And I can actually shred down the weight on TV right here on YouTube. Millions of fucking followers. Yeah, people love that shit. I could dress in a fucking thong and jump around over there near the East River doing burpees and push-ups and fucking jumping jacks and run a couple of fucking miles and fucking make a good YouTube channel that would pay me money that I could possibly live off of. So graffiti, don't fuck with me with that shit. There ain't no money in sitting here doing this. And as I've explained before, I'm really being honest about this. I come on here and I can now get an audience of people that see RD357 as a human being that exists. They can also look at me and say, wow, RD does artwork. And I could steer people that are interested in purchasing my artwork to my Instagram site where they could possibly buy something if they like it. Similar to this thing I did a couple of weeks ago. This is actually sold, I believe, or at this point, but hey. I don't know if you can actually see it. There's Wolverine ripping through a fucking stop sign. I invented all that shit. I mean, of course I didn't invent Wolverine, but the whole ripping through the stop sign and everything, that's fucking artwork, man. Official shit. I sell stuff like that, boom bash, and I do great. I do great. Perfect example. I love New York t-shirts. I can't fucking get them fast enough inside. Like, yo, so they get them this old. Like, I'm always behind on them things. I can never actually, like, I had 149 of them a week and a half ago. They're all fucking gone. People are like, yo, 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 yo. Like, I do all right. That is what I do with YouTube, okay? So, like, just stop it. I really was honestly sitting here spitballing in a storm about a way to prevent people from fucking me up while I'm conversating with people live. That's what I was saying. Really, that's what I was really driving at. There's got to be a way how I can wean these people out. And I thought, like, you ever see those dunk tanks? I was actually in a dunk tank once from my son's school, where they do these fun things, raffles and like things where you make money to help the school. When your parents, you sit in a big glass tank that's filled with water. You're on a little piece of wood, like this, on the piece of wood. People take a ball, a hard ball, from a baseball game, and they throw the ball at the target. And if they hit that target, whoosh, I go underwater. You got me? So I was thinking, you know, if you people want to act stupid, I think it was one, possibly two people that were kind of negative. But I'm like, you know, if you want to ask me stupid questions, you'd have to pay me to ask me stupid questions. Simpler to, like the dunk thing. Hell, you can sit there, call me all the shit you want. But when it starts to fuck with people that are actually asking me real good questions, and, you know, I'm actually having beautiful conversations, and in between it's like some stupid shit about some, like, retarded shit. Like I said, I'm 54 years old. Like, yo, that's like, but then again, I don't know. Honestly, children are not supposed to be watching my channel. Like, a child's not supposed to be watching these. I make that clear before I post it. I say, oh no, this is not for children. And I click that button. I don't know, but it's like childish behavior. And believe me, I'm a fucking child of myself. I do foolish shit all the time. But I never understood that. Like, how is there power in that? Like, how is that, like, you coming ahead? Like, I don't get that. If anything, that makes you look like a punk, even if it's under a fake name. Even if you go under a fake name and call me some stupid shit, you know to yourself, you know to your fucking self, when you lay your head down at night, that you're such a pussy, you had to make up a fake fucking name to come at me. You know that, so I won. I don't worry about that. Like, my mind, I got all types of weird little ways to put things in my mind where I can sleep at night. Right? So I know about not sleeping at night, believe me. But in any event, I never really did anything wrong like that. Like, honestly, you can ask any human being that knows me, like a lot of these writers, every single graffiti writer that I mention on my page here. Let me stop this and start it again, just because it might click off. Now, like I was saying, any graffiti writer that I mention in my podcast, whether I mention them in a friendly way, in a positive way, or in a negative way, like an enemy, I mention everyone, and every single one of them people have gotten back in touch with me. Yeah, every single one of them people have gotten back in, well, yeah, every single one of them, maybe one through someone else or something like that, and that could even be bullshit. But in any event, yes, every single human being. Bob, perfect example. When I mentioned Ball and that one where RD killed a hooker here in 1987, that I was with Ball and like many years before, like it was all just joking around, and Ball took that picture. You know, Ball got in touch. He's like, yo, dude, what the fuck? It's like 10, 15 fucking people that tell me, mention me on some kind of podcast or something like that. What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, huh? Dude, yeah, I was talking about with the thing with the hooker thing, you know. But Ball's like, well, Jesus, you know, what the fuck? Like, I thought someone died or something, the way these people are blowing up the phone. I said, you know, don't worry about it. Yeah, I think he was maybe a little upset, Ball, but I didn't use him in bad light or anything. That's my boy. But yeah, it's a perfect example. Every single person I mentioned, and even if I had just mentioned these people in this slight little way, like, oh yeah, this person was there, or I just seen someone out the corner of my eye, or you know what I mean, a mother, sister's cousin's little brother, and it gets back to them motherfuckers like, yeah, before the sun rises, they already know about that shit. And they're like, yo, this, that. Yeah, every single time. NISO too. I bumped into NISO down there near that graffiti store down there on Canal Street. He was actually watching it while I bumped. He's like, oh shit, someone just sent me this shit, Rob. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, yeah, man, you the man. NISO, you put it in hard, bro. Don't shy away from that shit, man. You fucking did your thing, man. NISO. Yeah, NISO, criminal minded. Yeah. So anyway, to make my point, no one comes at me crooked. You never see no one comment on any of my shit about, oh no, that's not true, or anything like that. It doesn't happen. That's why I sit here, I speak the truth. That's why I'm really open to doing these live discussions with people, but I'm sorry I won't be able to do that. I can't give people power like that. Once you know something, you can't unknow it, and it's like just real stupidity. And I maybe not now. My son, he's my little think tank, and he's more technology-wise suave than me. So he might possibly come up with a way for me to do that in the future. I was also thinking maybe I could raffle shit off. Like raffle off some artwork I'd done or something. Yeah, this RD, get it now, going once, going twice, sold to the motherfucker. You get me? Like, yeah, I could do shit like that even live. People want auctions. That's the word, an auction. Yeah, something like that. But as far as it goes with me just opening up and being with you people, man, I tried. And like I said, it was just one person. But that one person did put in my mind how it could be more than one person. You got me? And it could be stupid shit. Like, I mean, I don't know if you people really realize who you're talking to. Like, who's talking to you, man? This is me, RD, yo. I've been through it all, man. Believe you me. Like, there's nothing you can say or do to my ass that ain't been done, other than maybe put one in my head, man. For real. Yeah, that's the truth, man. They've been done, talked about me from day one, man. So that's all good. I don't give a fuck about that. One thing is, no one can call me a liar. Now, not one person could come on here and say, oh, no, that didn't happen, or none of that shit, man. That's what matters to me, man. You get it? You see what I'm saying here? So y'all can do all that stupid little shit, but I'm not going to entertain it. Like, I'm not. Yeah, that's the last I'll speak on it. But as far as it goes with me making money off of YouTube, no, it's not happening. Not right now. And even if I did decide right now, say, okay, I'm going to do Patreon, this, that, oh, you mother, you people are still going to fucking listen to this shit. This is golden, man. Like, what I got here, no one else could possibly provide for anyone. Like, I'm literally the longest writing graffiti writer. Me, Robert Dyer, was out there writing graffiti longer and harder than any other fucking human being out there. For real. For real. Still to this date, I hold that title. Now, a few people were talking about during the pandemic, the graffiti situation, but let me say, that's like a whole big nut that I got out cracking another podcast. Like, I'll do that next time, or next week, or maybe in a couple of weeks from now, or a day or two from now. But that's a whole other ballgame. I could definitely tell you that you guys have, it's very easy pickings out there right now. I'll leave it at that. Now, as far as it goes with that picture or video that's surfaced of my RD tag on Instagram, I wrote the guy's account down. It's upside down. All right, style writing and such. Style writing and such. There's style writing _N _ such. I don't know the guy, never met him a day in my life, at least to the best of my knowledge. But the picture was sent through me, not from him, someone sent it to me, just like I've explained about my YouTube. Every time I mention a human being on here that writes graffiti, someone in the audience is going to run and tell that person. Now, that's exactly how it works with Instagram, too. This guy posted pictures of an RD tag. It was done at the 149th Street train station, and someone showed me it. They sent it to me, tagged me in it or whatever. I don't remember, sent a little arrow, forwarded it to me, whatever. I got in touch with it. So that's what I mean by every single word I say on here. No one contradicts. They might ignore it, and they might stay quiet in the shadows and hope I die or something like that. But yo, I really did walk this earth like a fucking lion, man. I honestly fucking did, man. I got nothing to hide or lie about as far as it goes with my graffiti world, the beef and all that, everything, man. Yo, fuck that. It ain't my fault these people are squirming around the floor like a fucking yellow belly scumworm, and they're ashamed of the way they held themselves during times of pressure. Now, getting back to this picture, and it's actually a video. On 149th Street, the Grand Concourse, there's a place called The Bench. Pretty famous place for graffiti writers. I don't think I need to explain to people what The Bench is. But I never really hung out at The Bench, but I've definitely been around that. You can see that's actually tagged in the station. I don't know, I didn't have any purpose in sitting there and, oh yeah, look, I did this, I did that. That just wasn't me. Like I said, we were criminals that wrote graffiti. Like, we didn't hang out and like break dance and spin on fucking pieces of linoleum and shit like that. It wasn't our thing, man. We were straight up into guns and robbing shit. Straight up, motorcycles, all that. No lies. Didn't spin on my head at all. Never broke danced a day in my life. Hell, I never even played a sport in my life. Yeah, you tell me one person out there that could actually say they ever in their life saw me take a basketball and throw it in a hoop, or anyone ever see me hit a ball with a bat or any type of sport. Now, I did hit a handball around a little bit. Handball, I might have played a couple. There's a few people from John Jay Park that could possibly say they were there and saw me play handball, yes. But other than that, no. I swam a lot, yeah. All right, where was I going with this whole thing? Criminals that wrote graffiti. We weren't into all that other shit that these people were doing. But in that photograph of that RD, on the thing where it says 149th Street, I swear that's still there. To the best of my knowledge, you could ask this person. I'll actually have his thing. The guy actually took the picture and the video footage. You can ask him. I did ask, but I don't think I got a response, or if not, I didn't check back and get a response. But it looks like the footage and the type of technology that's used as far as it goes with the filming and all, looks like it was done with a cell phone. So I would assume it was done very recently. Let me tell you, I did that tag. In high school, after I got out of juvenile detention centers like Spofford and stuff like that, I got released, and the public school system was starting a new program. I believe it was the Get Start or the Head Start, some crazy shit like that. Back in the 1980s, you had a lot of kids that were in a similar situation as me. They get locked up. Like, yo, that's when that shit started, man. The crack era, boom, swoop them up, man, yeah. TNT, fucking, yeah. Tuesdays and Thursdays, technical narcotics team, all that shit. 40 dudes, truancy patrol. Yo, that's when all that shit just came out in a fucking ball. And yo, yeah, if you were a teenager out there, man, you went through that shit, man. That shit was hard fucking body. And you would get released into the public. And as I've explained before in one of my videos, I think it's the one that Fat Joe's talking about me or something, where I would be mainstream, straight out of Spofford, where you're literally fighting for your fucking life, especially if you're a fucking white boy. You're fucking going at it like fucking Conan, man. I ain't lying, man. That shit is straight up, man. You're fucking trying to stay alive. Then they take your fucking ass and throw you into the regular, you get released and you get thrown into the regular public school system. Now you're still on that rah-rah shit, you know what I mean? If some asshole come up to you with some stupid fucking comment, you're gonna kill the fucking dude. You're like, ah, it's just the way it was. So they invented this program for children that were like that. Teenagers that were released from prisons and shit like that and was trying to be mainstream back into normal society. They would have these special programs, a lot of GED stuff. Later on, they also branched off into a project that was for pregnant teenage women. The same building. It was like we were a bunch of badasses. Right next door to us, we had a bunch of girls yelling like, yeah, go to school, bitch. Yeah, it was crazy. But anyway, yes, I was part of that program. And a lot of people were. Early on, this is when it moved up to 198th Street and the Grand Concourse, maybe 187th Street, the Grand Concourse, something like that. But before that, it was on 49th Street on the west side. And East Side High, actually. Park East was the name of the school, but we were a small school which was inside that school, and that's where they also had the truancy program, where the police officers would go around 42nd Street, grab all the truants and this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's a program. So when you're released from prisons and shit like that, you got to go through all this. They can't just put you in regular public school. I myself am actually a part of that study that proved that shit don't work. I almost killed a motherfucker, for real, with a fucking flag. You know, a fucking American flag. I took that shit, I broke the fucking stick, and I came at that motherfucker like Van Helsing. I almost killed the motherfucker, yeah. But yeah, I ain't play that shit. Enough white boy jokes. Yeah, you don't know where that white boy just came from. That was the problem. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the whole thing. The school that I was at, I'd go up there with a can of spray paint. And in between, I'd be coming up from Bloomingdale's 59th Street, my home stop at the time. I lived on 62nd Street, 344 East 62nd Street. I'd take the train up, the 4 train. Now, in between, when the train stops and lets people out, on the opposite side, there'd be a wall. And you would be in between cars. You pull that little spring thing, and I'd stand up, and I'm pretty tall, as high as I can, and I'd do an RD tag. I'd go up, all the way up to the Bronx. Now, in that school, I did that a lot. Like, there's quite a few of them tags still lasting. There's actually a lace tag, a lace ESP, before 357 even. Yeah, like in 82 or something. That's even longer than the one I'm talking about right now. There's a lace ESP also in like a true blue. One of them stops like 68, 77, something like that. But yeah, this one's up where the writer's bench was. 149th Street, where this guy got this thing. But I want to talk more about the school that I was in. Let me tell you some of the people that also were in that school with me. Like I explained, Izzy Hernandez, he was in the one when I was on 49th Street. Down there near the 42nd Street with the truancy program. It's the same school, but it moved. It actually got kicked out of that school. And we had to go up to the Bronx. But yeah, Izzy Hernandez, the dude who wrote Naze. N-A-Z-E-T-N-S. BVD crew also. Yeah, he was in there. Now up in the Bronx where we had everybody, man. We had Georgie and Edgar Malganado, the fucking Malganado brothers. Yeah, crazy motherfuckers. We had Stanley and Eddie Jackson. These are like the people that I knew that I actually hung out with. Thomas Santos from Los Mosquitos, the Upper West Side there, where they did the big Los Mosquitos, Brandike Yard Boys, BYB. Thomas Santos, yeah, they stabbed him on Halloween, I believe they killed him, in a house party on 89th Street in Columbus. Also, who was in there with me? Eddie Hazard, yeah, little Eddie Hazard, Queensbridge houses with Nas in them, yeah, Eddie Hazard from Queensbridge. So now all of a sudden I explained to you the upper West Side, Washington Heights, it was considered back then the Malganados. 140s, 30s, around there, the Jukebox, Stanley Jackson, yeah, and Edward Jackson. Boom, 2 brothers from up around the 140s, that's West Harlem. Now I'm talking about Eddie Hazard, Queensbridge houses, right? Then you had Franklin Peterson from out in Brooklyn. Then you have my boy who was actually on Instagram, and I still talk to him quite often. You know, my voice, you might hear my voice is fucked up. I actually got COVID right now. Yeah, I mean, I just can't smell. That's about it. But I don't really feel sick. Obviously, my voice, but I don't feel like I'm dying. I'm all right. I do have COVID, yes. I've been home from work all week. All right, so now, where are we at? My boy John Arbello, up there, Meshuggah Park area. John Arbello used to write Sass. Oh, my boy, I used to write graffiti with him. Edgar and George, that's Sheen and Cord, OTB. Who else fucking was up there with me? A bunch of crazy dudes. Adita Dog. No, yeah, well, for a week or two. There was so many of us, man. All them dudes, every single one of them people I mentioned, man. Some motherfuckers became serious criminals, man. Believe that shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a small school within a school at one point. Then it was a school that was like the Get Started, a Head Start program. Yeah. Fucking all them dudes were real badasses out there, man. There was a dude from Brownsville, too. I forget his fucking name. TJ? Yeah, TJ. I don't remember his actual name, man. But yeah, a lot of them. Alberto Martinez, he's CB. He used to write CB. Yeah. Who else? A bunch of these. But these dudes are wild motherfuckers, man. Yeah. Who else? A bunch of us, man. But yeah, we were like the worst of the worst. The kids that winded up in that program were the ones that were like doing the worst shit in regular public schools. So they took all the worst kids out of these regular public schools and made another school for just those kids. And those are normally like kids that get in trouble and are always in and out of jail and stuff. Because during the crack epidemic, that's when that shit started, man. Bam! Not the 70s, man. The 70s, right, yeah. People out there, like I said, with little 38 specials and shotguns and shit. But that didn't really start, like, with the fucking, like, assault rifles and fucking AK-47s and shit and Uzis and all that. Israeli machine guns and shit. That shit didn't pick up until the 80s, man. And, yo, that's when they were actually, like, trying to think of a way, like, maybe if we get these kids into school or something like that, you get me? Like they were brainstorming shit. We wind up, they got a bunch of crazy ass fucking criminals together, man. And my man John Robello, he's still out there. He's on Instagram. He follows me. He's I don't know what he does. Weird videos now. He actually does videos. I don't want to go blowing up his spot, but yeah. A bunch of people, man. Larry from fucking Crazy Eddie, 116th Street, yeah, with the fucking funny money. Well, they used to print up fake fucking money, man. We'd run around with one pocket full of 20s, another pocket full of just like the real money. Boom, 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 let me get a Snickers bar, boom, Snickers bar, boom, Snickers bar, boom, boom. Like, it was crazy, bro. And those are the people, man, and that is the lifestyle that I used to just fucking enthrall myself in. I loved it. It was all black, Spanish, white, Italian, Puerto Rican, Irish, Jewish, Japanese, Chinese. We ain't give a fuck, man. We were out there getting paid, man. That's the truth. And I would like to let you people know that, like, the shit that you see on these graffiti books and what you hear about, it's, I don't know, I guess it's their perspective on it, but that's like, believe me, the way I'm thinking and the way I'm talking is how the real game was played. You had a bunch of false-ass fucking fake clowns out there that nowadays are actually the gods of graffiti. But believe me, they're all bullshit, man. A lot of people ask me, who was your favorite writers and this and that? And I'll tell you, I could tell you who I respected, but to me, they were just other teenagers who were like me, writing graffiti. Like, I didn't really look at them as anything more amazing than me, except for the people that were out before me. And Tracy, to me, is like a god. Tracy 168, it's my boy. Yeah, known him forever, man. Way back there, him go. Yeah, I'd say Tracy's up there, definitely. The way he carries himself, the way he is today, and the style of graffiti he's done, the way he's done it, yeah, Tracy. Definitely Tracy. Min is another one. Min RTW. Definitely. I think Min RTW, Annie, should actually fucking do a podcast. I think he would be off the hook doing this shit like I am, just sitting there talking shit. Oh man, that would be something to see. Hell yeah, Min RTW. I'd be interested. That would be something good to see. Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me ask you guys that question. Who do you think would be good at having a podcast like this? Like, whose story would you like to hear, so to say, And see, me, I know the individual, so I know, you get me? Like, I know a lot of people out there that you people think, oh my God, but they're full of shit. They're liars. It's all fake. They're like a paper champion. A lot of people out there. But the real motherfuckers, like Deli 167, Band 2, Nathan, one dude, man, put it in hard. Cope 2, believe it or not, I give Cope 2 some serious respect. Especially now, after me dabbling in the art business as someone that had done my first art solo show. I give Cope 2 a lot of props, man. Right now, as I'm sitting here, as crazy as it sounds coming from my mouth, it's hard to be business suave and to be able to pull that off. I've really learned that, and I've earned a deep respect for him, definitely. Who else? Cost. I would have to say Cost is probably my favorite writer. Cost, KRT. When it comes to just, let me just get it. Let me save that for a whole other episode because, I can't leave you guys hanging on some shit like that. But yeah, with Cost, I have deep respect for Cost. Yeah, the way he carried himself, he didn't stoop to stupid levels like me. He ignored everything. You don't ever see him coming out of his mouth on the computer or nothing. He really played it smart. I wish I had the restraint that he had. Yeah, but we'll get into that one day. I promise you guys I'll talk about him, but I can never say nothing bad about Cost. He was a good guy out there. Let me see. I talked about the picture. Yeah, all right, let me break that picture down real quick. 149th Street, 4 train, I believe. I was probably 16 years old at that time. I could have been anywhere from 16 to 17 years old when I did that. Yeah, I was not 15, I was locked up. Yeah, so 16, 17 years old I was when I did that tag. And that shit is still there today, and I'm 54 years old. Oh, that's like some tortoise turtle shit, right? Yeah, and like I said, I'll go in between cars, and I pull the little metal thing, and I go up on the thing, and I catch the tag up. I reach up real high, because I noticed they wouldn't buff that too much. But I did wind up overdoing it, because I started killing shit like that. And eventually it got to the point where it's just too much, so they wind up buffing a bunch of it. It looks like they missed a lot of it too, like they didn't get every single one of them. But yeah, that was a little thing I used to do in between cars in the station. And I'd do it in the middle of the train, so this way it's the most traffic part of the subway station. Like I wouldn't just get out in between cars at the end where no one hardly ever walks. I would do it right there where the people come right down the staircase. Like the most busiest part of the station is where I would stand out on the car so I could catch a tag. And then the least busiest would be the last, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I would do those on my way up to school, on my way down from school. I would do that. I remember, like I was explaining before, Sass, John Orbello, me, him, and what was it, Stanley Jackson. I forget what he wrote, man. The fuck did Stanley write? I can't remember, man. He was pretty popular. He hit the one train. I can't remember. But yeah, we would go down to Grand Army Plaza. They would park a bunch of Ford trains and shit down under there at Grand Army Plaza out in Brooklyn. We'd go all the way from the Bronx, all the way down. You know, we'd cut out of school and shit, get a bag of weed or something, you know. Like, had tray bags back then, nickel bags, you know. Buy a bag of marijuana. Smoke the shit in the park train, you know, sit there, smoke the shit, write graffiti, get out of there. I'd just go home from there. They'd go home from there. We wouldn't even bother going back to school, you know. But yeah, so that tag is very old. And those right there are the times. And like I said, every single one of them dudes that I went to school with, Brent, he's another one. He got killed. Big White Joe, he's another one. You know, you had this other white boy in there, Brian Misiano. Let me get into him another time. He wrote graffiti too, an Italian kid. Yeah, I'll talk about him next time. But yo, take care of yourself, people. Well, yeah, one more thing. Wait to the end of this video and you'll see it. I'm going to put the guy video, the RD tag at 149 shoot also. All right, take care. Woo!